Have you had your sit down yet with the NBC announcers?
They were at practice, and then the production meeting. The scheduling is different because of the short week, so it'll be like a Zoom. But
is it different than
with Drew?
There?
Yeah. I said to him, for all these years, he had a routine on Saturday. He'd get dry needling. He'd do a lot of different things for his body. So oftentimes the production crew would be waiting, and his routine was going to stay the same. So when I saw him, I said, hey, Trevor's got a long routine. Might be a while. He was on the other side of it. But I think they, with the short week, I think they did it like either phone or Zoom. But yeah, it's different. It's good seeing him.
How's the short week been for you all? How compressed was it for your game planning?
Look, we've done it. The schedule we've done quite a bit, and so the itineraries we kind of have an idea. The stress is always in a lot in a couple days, and then the evenings relative for the coaches are late just because you're getting a lot in. You're having to double up the first night and then the second night. So, but overall, I think it's gone well.
Did you keep the guys off the feet, the players off their feet, or how would?
Yeah, there was. Look, the big difference is most everything is walk through. I don't think we were in a helmet in the last 2 days. So everything is mental, and you're doing a lot of walk through as opposed to like what you're used to.
Does it make it harder, Sean, with press time, and you have so many injuries, knowing how to put together a game?
Well, look, that never makes it easier. Yeah, because look, experienced players understand what the look's going to be like, and the younger players obviously, need the looks and need the experience. But that is what it is, and you're just going through as many different looks in your walkthroughs.
Does the long flight back from Philly change that too, as opposed to playing in Atlanta or having a home game before a short week?
I don't know. I feel like we've been on long flights, and like Philly's like 2 hours instead of an hour. So I didn't feel like it was unusually long, or the tough ones back in the day were when you played a Sunday night and played a Thursday. That's a tough schedule, just because of when the players are playing. But I think the travel overall and all of those things worked out well.
Sean, how much did the two different injuries that Taysom Hill had influence sort of your decision on your vision for him, and how much you could seriously consider him as a quarterback?
Back up the two different injuries.
Well, he was coming off the concussion when you first
needed
a starter, and then had the injury.
Obviously, that was significant. It took time. And then at Tennessee, he gets the foot. He's doing better. And how much did it impact? It's a good question. Sometimes when a decision's made that you don't even begin to you just, you're going. Trevor's done a good job, understands what we're doing, and obviously there's an impact he has. I'm talking about Taysom, not just in his rushing role, but there's a physicality that he brings to your offense that and special teams. So it's good to have him getting better now.
So I guess now that you're in the rhythm that you're in, is there anything Taysom Hill could do to earn a chance at that job, or would it have to be?
I mean, I'm not going to discuss the quarterback depth or anything. We're trying to win a game right now, and everyone's trying to do their part, and we kind of go from there.
Sean, what kind of stands out about the Buffalo secondary?
So, look, first off, Sean McDermott has done a great job. Leslie Frazier, those guys, I'm going to go way back now. We got the flight pattern here, so.
The day before Thanksgiving, busiest travel.
Right, but it's the wind that's determining the flight pattern.
That too.
So we were all cutting our teeth as young coaches. They were in Philly. I was at the Giants, and the late Jim Johnson was the defensive coordinator, one of our league's best, really. He was fabulous, and on that staff was the young Sean McDermott and Ron Rivera, and you name it. They had a bunch of good young coaches that would all went on to be real good head coaches. And I end up here in New Orleans, and Sean is at Carolina with Ron, and then Sean coordinates the defense there, and then I think he's done a fabulous job. You know, they do enough things in the secondary, and they're talented. You know, their technique, they're very well coached, and so when you put a good scheme like that they have together with good players, they're smart at the safety position, never out of position. They play a lot of nickel defense, and they play it well. So, you know, the tape study is this year's Buffalo, but you can go to last year's, years before. We even went five years deep into Carolina plans, just looking at ideas and thoughts. And but I think he's something. I think a lot of him and what they've been able to put together there, and they build a really good team.
For this game, you went five years deep in the Carolina plan?
Yeah.
Did you sleep in those games?
No, you just look at reels. You know, like this morning, Kevin put together every touchdown runner pass, and since Sean's been a defensive coordinator, just runs first, passes second. I don't know, 200 plays or whatever, and then you quickly through it. And you might come away from that whole thing saving 18, and then look at the 18 again, then save 3, and then put them in. But they do a good job. They mix it up. They give you pressure looks that are challenging. They always have. And so you have to have answers for that.
Sean, I'm trying to remember, did you ever make a push to try to get him as a coordinator here when he was under Jim, or they had the ability to block? Or?
He was already under contract. I don't recall ever having that opportunity. I think I'm trying to look back. Jim was alive in 06, and I can't recall the year he passed, and I can't recall when Ron went to Carolina, if Sean went with him that first year or did it come, but no, he's very well respected and a good guy, you know, a really good guy.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this big picture, but do you see an evolution of the quarterback position in the league with this mobility factor, or is that just...
Well, if you go back and you listen to Bill Walsh's tapes, he had a value in movement skills for quarterbacks back then, like, you know, whether it was Montana to some degree or Young. I think we're always asked that question, and we're certainly seeing, you know, what the college game is bringing us, and yet 3rd and 8, you're going to have to make a play from the pocket, and so, but we're seeing, I watch the touchdown reel every week, and you're seeing the off-schedule plays, pick a team where the original design is this, but then all of a sudden it becomes a different play because the quarterback is made it such, and this guy does that extremely well.
Yeah, and it seemed like last week you all were so concerned with Hurts not...
Yeah, and it was different. Pocket. Yeah, it was different, exactly, and there was so much zone read option that, you know, that takes on a whole new element, and it, but the off-schedule plays down the field are, you know, something he does well. Josh,
what did you remember about him coming out?
I remember him well. Look, you knew you had big arm talent, you know, and we liked him. You know, you felt like he had the size, the arm strength. You saw all those traits, and it's always hard because you're seeing an offense maybe he's in that's going to be different than what you're projecting, and and shoot, he ended up being a great pick.